Welcome back to Backroad Apex. My name is Jordan. Today we are here with a friend of mine's car. You guys saw this in the background of one of the earlier videos we did on this channel, and now we get to actually feature it for real for the first time. So this is a 2005 Nissan 350Z that belongs to my friend Cason here, who I've known for almost 10 years and also owns that 3.2 liter A3 we drove a while back, which was a very thrown together video. We're gonna do a video with that. We're gonna do a proper video with that car after he does probably a little bit of mods to it. But this car is his project. So he bought this about a year ago and kind of in the same shape my Jetta was, but he got a much better head start than I did because this was in a lot better shape than my Jetta was when I bought that car. So when he first bought it, it was owned by a pretty well-known Nissan guy in our local community who unfortunately hydroplaned it and crashed it. And it kind of just sat as Z1 Motorsports lot for a long time, which is where Cason works. So some of you probably talked to him if you've bought parts from Z1 and you've had to go through customer service. And yeah, you probably got to talk to this dude. But this is his project. So it needed a door, it needed side skirts. And then at the same time, he's also been working to restore this car and do a lot of period correct era parts. So he's got a lot of really cool stuff. We'll talk about that while we drive it. But yeah, it's a really sweet car. This is the fourth VQ I've driven. I drove your first car, which was a G35 automatic with the DE, which is what this has as well. This is a very late DE car. I drove an HR 350Z. I've driven a 370. So I've technically driven 5 because I drove your G37 you had. Yep. And then I've driven this car before already. So this is nothing new to me. I've driven this car before. Well,
this is new now with the mods.
Well, yeah, with all the mods, it's a bit new. I drove it relatively stock.
More crappier look. So.
But this thing's pretty sweet. I've always had a soft spot for these. My dad especially loved these cars when I was growing up. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for these. I obviously didn't want to buy one, which is probably the most annoying thing. You probably think I've driven so many of these cars that I'd have one. But I just really like driving them. They're just a little bit too small for me. I'm a big dude. I need a big car or bigger car. But we've got these really nice clear JDM tails and the lower marker assembly Cason did on this car. We just did a video for his channel you guys can go and check out later. That'll have like the full breakdown of this car. I've already forgotten half of what he said, but this is a Z1 touring exhaust, so it's pretty tame actually, with these wheels that came off an 03 track pack 350Z, which have infinity center caps. I assume they were on a G35,
I guess. I assume.
But yeah, this car used to be 3 different shades of silver on this side, so he's done really good on finding replacement parts to fix that up, and now it's all one color again. And he's got some really cool interior bits we'll talk about once we get on the road. And he does have a wiper delete. He did mention that in his video because he thought it was insignificant, but I figured I would throw that around here just for fun. His engine bay, you guys are going to see some B-roll while I'm talking, so I'm not going to just be standing here the whole time, but this thing is really well kitted out for how little you spent on this car, because he spent $3,000 on this thing last year. And we all know the Z market is extreme. Like, these cars command a fortune. So it's really cool to get one for the same price that I got my first car for back in 2016 and get a pretty well set car. So without further ado, I think we're gonna go take this thing for a ride. And Cason has graciously offered to let me drive this one. So good luck to his clutch. I can drive. So good old 350Z. These things are amazing driver's cars, especially for how little you can spend on these things. I've seen these cars go for so much money, but yet they are still very worth it sometimes, for sure. It's a really good sound. You know, usually with VQs, you get one of two things. You get tame and chill, or you get obnoxiously loud, like your G35 was. Your G35 was insane. So Cason and I have known each other for about 9 years. We met in 2017, and like I said, he had a G35 at the time that was automatic. So he's been around these cars for a long time. He's worked at Z1, I think, what, for almost 8 years?
Yeah, almost 8 years.
So he's got a lot of experience with these VQ cars, and he knows them like the back of his hand. So it makes perfect sense why he wanted one at the end of the day. So interior wise, this car did not have cruise control on the wheel. He added it back, and he actually has this car tuned, which you said it made 288 horsepower?
280 to the wheels.
280 to the wheels.
About 255-ish torque.
Yeah, so really good numbers considering it's got 185,000 miles on the clock for a DE VQ. But this is probably the coolest thing he's got in this interior right now is this Tommy Kyra shift knob. You said in your video these things usually retail for about $300 and they're discontinued. So
yeah, so a good used one I saw for sale on a website that was sold out was $350.
Yeah,
it was like like high 2, low 3 in euros, and when I converted it was like 350 plus.
Yeah.
And I bought it for $100.
So very good deal on this. This is really rare, and I think you said it's discontinued, so it's really hard to get these things. The only thing this car doesn't have that I wish it did for a day like today is AC. I'm actually gonna roll these windows up a little bit just for sound wise.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's go out of here. We're gonna be tame because this park is really nice and we had to pay $5 to even get in here. So, holy cow, you're, okay, I can't. Okay, I'm not, that throttle response was something else. I've never revved this car with a lightweight flywheel. This has to be probably one of the lighter flywheels you've used then, because your G37 did not rev up this fast. Too hard.
There you go.
Yeah, so you can't dump this clutch at all.
Well, you can, but you gotta be like, that was a good hit.
Ooh!
Yeah, you can dump it, but you gotta be in it, ready to go again.
Yeah.
It's not, dumping the clutch is not meant for cruising.
The drive's really good for not having traction control and all the nannies and stuff that keep cars in check nowadays. It's really good. I've always liked how these cars drive. My issue with them has never been the driving dynamics. It's always been the space. Like, I feel cramped in here, but that's what makes a driver's car great sometimes. This Challenger's kind of hanging up a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm kind of wanting to play it a little late, but
I haven't driven down this road in a long time though, so.
remember, it's stock suspension, so.
Yeah, you can't really throw this around. It's a very fun 288 horsepower, especially when it chirps into second gear like that.
Hit the shift light, don't forget.
Yeah, I see it.
We got more road, right?
Yeah.
Downshift and then press the cancel button and floor it. Hold the cancel. Floor it. Yep.
So this tune does have rolling anti-lag built into it, which I always find comedic when he's done this with his VQs, because obviously he's never owned a turbo VQ, but it's just a cool little party trick to show off sometimes, because it does sound kind of cool. So yeah, this car has a Z1 intake plenum spacer, not really intake plenum, but just plenum spacer. And that helps a lot with these cars. It wakes them up, and I think doesn't it help some reliability issues as well?
Yeah, it.
Or am I thinking of the HRs that do that?
No, it's this. The stock plenum cuts off a lot of the flow to the front cylinders, so they're really being starved up front. So what the angled plenum spacer does is kind of evens it all out while raising both the front and the rear of the plenum. So you're getting a lot more of an equal and increased flow to all 6 cylinders. And it helps with throttle response. I mean, it does a lot for the car and a lot for power.
Yeah, it feels great. Like, I love how these cars drive. The throttle response has been what's killing me, because I've gotten very used to how heavy the Jetta's flywheel is, and that's the car you guys have seen me drive the most when it comes to manuals. So it's kind of throwing me for a loop, going from a car that has a very heavy flywheel and is actually kind of hard to rev match to this, which is extremely easy to rev match. I've done pretty good so far with it. But it is obviously, you blip it and it goes straight to 3,000 RPM. But the sound is good. It drives fantastic. Like, this thing, so we were gonna do a track day together towards the end of this month with my Mark 7 in this car. Unfortunately, he had to back out. But this thing would be an absolute weapon on track, especially with the setup that it's got going on. Well, I mean, stock suspension, but I mean, that's not really a caveat with these. These things handle pretty good out of the box. So, you know, it's really not much of a handicap with this thing. Some cows. So, in case you didn't know, we live in the country, so roads like these that have just these long sweepers are fairly common for us, but sometimes we just don't have very many roads to have fun with anymore. So, it's nice to have a bit of a change of scenery from my usual routes I do with these videos. So, let's see if we can... See, it's kind of... At low speeds, it's kind of hard to rev it.
Yeah, it's definitely once you're like still at a higher RPM.
Yeah.
You want to show them launch control. You don't have to launch it, but you want to show them just how it works.
Yeah, I thought about actually trying to launch it, but I don't know how. If you slip the clutch or if you just dump it. I don't want to dump it.
Dump it.
Okay, well, you want to try it?
All right, yeah. Clutch in all the way.
Yep.
Stomp the gas.
That was fun. So this does have an LSD in it. What'd you say it was? Is that the Nismo something or other?
That was in the G37 actually.
Yeah, you had the clutch type in that car.
This is the Z1 Street Pro, which is a helical diff, so it's a little more street friendly. And I've also got some stiffening like the diff bushings with our urethane, Z1 diff brace, and I also did a transmission urethane mount. So
It, like I said, this thing drives I honestly, your G37 drove wonderful, but the clutch type made it really just kind of cumbersome on the street. So this is significantly better. This thing has been an absolute treat. I love these cars. I really do. I just, like I said, the only reason I don't own one is I feel kind of cramped. I don't know what you just changed to.
Go to neutral and rev it real high. Tap the throttle. All the way in. Rev it and then tap. So.
Oh my gosh.
I can change it back if you want. Unless you want to shift it at higher BM with it doing that.
I need to find a spot where there's not as much houses for that. I don't want to take anybody off out here with that. That is insane. So, like I said, Cason's worked at Z1 for a long time, so he's got so much seat time in these cars. You've driven pretty much every Z model at this point, haven't you? Other than just like the old classics. Like, I think you've driven Z32s. You've driven these, obviously. I know you've had a lot of seat time in Z34s.
Yeah, I mean, from driving friends' cars to driving, I haven't street driven a 300ZX or the Nissan Z, new Z, but I've spent plenty of time with them to kind of get an idea of how they feel. I would like to take them on the road, but kind of working at that at some point. So
yeah.
Okay. Down a second.
Good gosh. The pop is so loud.
All right. Oh, my seatbelt's not liking it. All right, I'll turn it back to, that's 93 performance, so it's back to regular.
So you just gotta be real smooth with this clutch. I think with the Jetta's clutch, I can be a bit more mean to it because of that flywheel. I think this is just, it's a little bit more jerky.
Oh, absolutely.
When you're just mean to it.
Because when you let off, it's gonna grab and instantly go down to the RPMs you are running it at. So it's,
yeah.
Yeah.
This, you gotta be a bit more like precise, which is fine.
Yeah, once you get used to it, it's
no big deal.
It's no big deal.
Like, I'm already getting used to it.
The pedal is not, like, you remember the G.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah, I remember that. The
G37 had a road race clutch, which is like the highest clamping force clutch Z1 sells. I was going for a full track build with that, so it was a little aggressive for the street, but this was like the perfect mix. Better than stock, but not so aggressive I'm gonna hate my left leg.
Yeah. This thing is so fun. I see why you like these cars so much, because like I said, this is your third VQ you've owned.
Yeah, this is my third VQ I've owned.
There's a reason you keep coming back to this chassis.
I might even try to get a G35 coupe at some point, either an auto or a manual, just red with black interior coupe. And I'd probably keep it stock because I just love the way those cars look. And they're very classic kind of design, or classy design. But this one's got to be the rowdy car. Like, it's a Z, man.
But I think that about wraps up the experience in this car. This has been super fun, and you know, like I said, I love these cars. I love driving them. They always bring such good smiles. For a while, one of my dream projects was one of these with an SR20. Like, I wanted to be really weird, ditch the VQ and go with a super lightweight 4-cylinder turbo setup in one of these. And I don't know, I kind of like the VQ. They may not always be my favorite sounding engine, and I have a lot of just, I don't really say prejudice, but I mean, just, I don't like a lot of the VQ community. Like,
I mean, I don't blame you.
Because some of the VQ community, they're just rude, and they bought these thinking they bought like a 911 GT3, and they act like, you know, they're the best cars ever made, and like, well, I mean, they're really good. I wouldn't fault anyone for saying they are the best car ever made, but you know, just some of them are just not my favorite people to be around. Cason's always been like that one exception. he hasn't ever been like, oh my gosh, this is like the best thing on earth, like everything else sucks.
Wait. When I owned my G35, I was like that, and then I grew up and I was like, wow, I can see how I was being. So I'm kind of definitely, this is not the end-all car, but it is a car that could, you know, be your end-all if you want it to be. Like,
yes,
it's got so much variety.
There's so much.
Market or just keeping it stock. It's got so much heritage.
There's so much you can do to these cars.
Yeah.
It bewilders me. You can stance them, you can track them, you can drift them. I mean, the drift scene for these in particular is huge.
Oh yeah.
They're fantastic drift cars, and I mean, they're wonderful track cars. They've got a really good weight balance, and the chassis is really well sorted. You know, you see these at a lot of track days as well. So I don't know. I've always liked these cars. I just don't like a lot of people that own them, which I think is a fair argument for almost any car. I just think, you know, the VQ community gets a lot of heat, so yeah, I think they're probably the most notorious. Almost stalled it.
Yeah, it's definitely, this is a stock shifter too, so it's definitely a little notchier.
It feels great.
Yeah, that's why I haven't done a short shifter. There's really no need. I definitely enjoy this feeling.
One last one for the road. All right, we'll catch up with you guys at the house to kind of close this out. All right. So there we go, 2005 350Z. That was a really fun experience. So huge thanks to Cason for letting me drive this thing around. This has been a treat. I always love driving these. I will never say no to driving a 350Z, especially a really well sorted one like this. So I know you've got a lot of plans for this car coming in the next like few months to a year plus, but you've also got that A3 to start working on. So we've got a lot to do. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time, and have a wonderful day.